Another game, another loss, another goal failed to have been scored from open play, and another game that Willian plays 90 minutes. Arsenal Football Club. Hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk, back again with you guys for another show after Arsenal have lost. Oh, you know what I should do? I should start making templates. I should start doing a template of me introducing shows where it's just me going, hello and welcome to the Gooner Talk after Arsenal have lost. That is going to become the template from now, because I don't know what else I can say. I don't know what I'm expecting anymore. It's just honestly... Oh, why? Why is Willian still playing? That's the question everyone wants to ask. That's where I start the show. That's what we're asking. That is what we're asking. Why is it? Why? I understand. I have a little tiny speck of understanding as to why he started with Aubameyang out. I feel that if Aubameyang was fit and he would have played on the left and Nketiah in the middle, Pepe on the right, I feel that might have happened, because Willian obviously played on the left. So I feel as though maybe that's why he started. But still, you don't keep him on. You don't keep him on for that. You don't keep him on for the whole match. You don't keep... How can he stay on... How can you take off Pepe instead of Willian? How? How can you think that's a good idea? How can you think it... There has to be some sort of clause, because surely Arteta is not that silly. Surely. These shows are always very emotional and a lot more passionate, and I'm going to get to your comments in the chat very, very shortly. But it's just so difficult to just watch a team lose over and over and over again, just to fail to win. The last time we won was at Old Trafford. Before that was Sheffield United, I think, in the league. Let's be real. Everton away, they're a good team in good form. But when you go there and you put on that display, so we're told week in, week out by the players, you can go onto your social medias and you can tweet, and I appreciate the respect that has to go, we're going to turn this around, you deserve more than this, blah, 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 bloody BS. Yeah? But don't go into the game where you're meant to be full of your fitness and not even bother to start. We didn't start. Everton went into that game knowing exactly the side they would come up against and knew that if they can get an early goal, or get a goal in general, they're probably going to win the game. Because Arsenal can't score. We scored from a penalty. From Mainsley. I say, Mainsley was bloody brilliant. And if Bellerin starts in the next Premier League fixture against Chelsea over Mainsley, I will be so done with this. Start Bellerin in the cup game against City. By all means. Start him in the cup game. It's the cup game. It's against City, for goodness sake. What are we going to do there? What hope have we got in that game? But if Mainsley does not start against Chelsea and Bellerin starts over him, what can you... Because he's not going to play in the middle, is he? He's not going to be playing in the middle. Cedric has been on the bench for the last 2 games. When Bellerin has been suspended and we've needed legs in the midfield, Mainsley was all over. The tackling was there, the tracking back was there, the one-on-one defending was there. I'm sorry, but if you're going to start Bellerin next Premier League game over him, because you're not going to play Cedric, what's the point? What is the point? And why is Eddie Nketiah starting 2 games in a row after doing... But the little touch to Aubameyang, I appreciate it. But bar that, he did nothing against Southampton. He had a terrible shot against Southampton that trickled towards Alex McCarthy. You've got Lacazette on the bench that didn't start against Southampton. So he's not unfit. He's not unfit at all. And you're without Aubameyang, and instead of going for Lacazette, instead of you go with Nketiah. It doesn't give us anything. People, I'm sorry, but there is nothing about Nketiah that makes me think this guy has got a bright future at Arsenal. You can do it at youth level, great, congratulations. But we've got a kid called Balogun that's coming in and scoring 2 goals in just over an hour. That's not getting a shoe in, and you're wondering why he's not signing a contract. It's a joke. The team selection's becoming a joke. It's what more do you want? It's the definition of insanity to try the same thing over and over when you're not getting anything from it. Nothing. You're losing Aubameyang. His goals are gone. And so what do? You replace that with Willian on the left and a guy in Nketiah that scored, I think, 2. How many Premier League goals has he got? Barely any is the answer to your question over the amount of appearances he's got. And then what do? We bring on Joe Willock for El Neni, which is just... Where's the tactics in that? Willock might be able to do it in the Europa League. Yeah, he might be able to do it in the Europa League and get a few assists. He might be able to do that. And by that, and I know that sounds hypocritical considering what I've just said about Balogun, but scoring a goal and having the guile to do it the way he has and the finishing ability to come off the bench and do what he's done in the short amount of time he's been given is different to being played week in, week out in the Europa League and putting on a few decent performances. In the league, Willock provides nothing. He's not going to make it at Arsenal. Willock and Nketiah are not making it. They need to be sellable assets that Arsenal improve on in the summer because there are other players that deserve a chance. Because you guys are having your chances and you're blowing them time after time after time. You are blowing them. I just don't understand what the faith is in these players. I don't understand how we can continually say that that's the case. I'm seeing people telling me that Willian was better than Pepe. Willian was on the ball more than Pepe. That doesn't make him better. It's what you do on the ball that counts. And that's, oh my God, like the decision making. Pepe's shot on his left foot, which went sky high. I don't have an issue with him taking the shot. I have an issue with the execution of the shot. I don't have an issue with the shot. Willian's shot, meanwhile, on his weaker foot when going into an area of the pitch where you're never going to score with a weak foot on that left-hand side of the goal with 3 Everton players in front of you. I have an issue with that shot for good reason. Pepe's banged them in from that position countless times. No problem with that at all. But Willian, like, come on, man. Come on. Come on, man. And with the Pepe is that he's lacking in effectiveness because he's so close to the touchline still. We're still misplaying him. We're still misusing him. We're still not using Pepe in the right positions. And it's so frustrating. So you've got a £72 million player that you won't even use properly. That we've got a decent quality player there and you're not even using him properly. It's a joke. It's such a joke. Right. Let's get some of your thoughts. I've had my rant. Let's see what you guys are saying. Javier says, Tom, we have what we have. You need to calm down. There will be a squad overhaul. We've been mismanaged. Yeah, Javier, I was where you were 3 weeks ago now because I was saying this 2 weeks ago. I was where you were at 3 weeks ago. The squad is bad. I get that. The squad is bad. You can't discredit the fact. It's a bad squad. It's full of bad players. I don't think it's bad in terms of 15th in the possibly 16th. Who knows at this stage? The squad is bad. But if you pick bad players week in, week out, when you have other options, what is the point? There's no argument there. Your argument of saying that the squad is bad, but if you continually pick the poor performers, your argument goes out the window. It's not a defence of the coach when he picks the continually worsening players in the squad. It's not a defence. We can pray and hope that January comes around quick. Do you even trust the club to sign the right players? I've been writing article after article, doing show after show, criticising, highlighting the poor recruitment of this team. Do I trust them to make the right decisions in the market? Are they just going to go out into Europe and buy someone that's apparently creative, that maybe has got a couple of assists in some league abroad? I don't care. And I'm a lover of European football, and you guys know that. But Arsenal don't need more foreign imports. Arsenal need Premier League ready, top of the class performers. And we're now at a stage where they're not going to want to come. They're not going to want to join. So we're going to probably have to dip into the Championship now, which, by the way, is not a bad thing. But it's something that we wouldn't have probably had to do had we have gone down the route of signing better Premier League players prior, instead of forking out 30 to 40 million on Xhaka, 30 to 40 million on Mustafi, 50 million on Lacazette, 50 million here, 50 million there. It's just, it doesn't make any sense continuing to pay Premier League prices on players that are not proven in your league. So you get to the point where you've got a squad full of utter shitters. Honestly, it just does my nut that we can see it, you can see it, and yet the club for some reason can't. And the continual decline just goes on and on and on and on, and they just don't do anything to change it, and nothing changes. Nothing changes. And that's what's so frustrating. So frustrating. Gerald, thank you for... I appreciate your attempt for some positivity, man. Gerald says, one positivity is Martinelli looked bright. I thought Martinelli looked... He looked energetic, but he lacks the match sharpness, and that's going to come with time. That's going to come with time. If you're going to put him into the game, right? Humour me for a second. If you're going to put a young kid that's been out of action for so long, and we're now pinning all our hopes on a young kid to come in, do not put him in that late in the game. Because someone who has been out of the game that long is never going to get up to speed quick enough to have the desired impact on the game. If Willian is playing utter shite by half time, take him off. Put Martinelli on. Give him the time to speed up. Not only that, but if you put him on at half time, everyone else on the Everton side of things has to speed up again after the break. But if you put him on 60, 70 minutes, 71 I think it was, into the game, all the Everton players are on it, they're up to speed, they're ready, they're going, and you've got a kid that's been out for 9 months or whatever, and you're putting him in for 19 minutes. What's he going to do in 19 minutes? What's a kid going to do in 19 minutes that's been out for that long? He's never going to get up to speed that quick enough. It's just, the mind boggles. Jacob Zabo says, this mess is going to take years to fix. We are seeing ourselves as a mid-table team for the best part of 5 to 10 years. If we're lucky, you're going to see that. It's all Xhaka's fault, says Timo Pesk. Calvin Cloet says, Willian, 800 odd league minutes and 1 shot on target, yet Pepe Cup. This is the argument, right? You can say that Pepe was worse than Willian, or Willian had more of an impact on the game, but you need to score a goal. Pepe is more likely to score you a goal than Willian is, hands down. Fact. Willian's not scored since arriving at Arsenal. Pepe has scored in the Europa League. He scored in the Premier League this season. He is going to score eventually, and more likely to score anyway than Willian. That's what I'm so frustrated about. Why? Why continue with it? It just doesn't make sense to me. Como Leray says, Mustafi, Xhaka, Ozil, Kolasinac, Socrates, all cost us money, wages, all not part of the team, contributing nothing, next to nothing, dead money. Daniel Robert, Arteta's quotes tonight, we played well and lost by small margins. I'm proud of all the boys. If that is what he has said, I'm going to scream. Take ownership of your team. Take ownership of what we're seeing on the pitch and turn around and say that it's not good enough, that our clinicalness is not good enough. Fine to point out good performance. You don't dig out specific players like you have done, especially if you're not going to be consistent. But overall, pick out the things that aren't going well. You're not pulling the wool over anyone's eyes. We are all clear to see the issues at this club. We can see it, I can see it, and you can see it. And we know the changes that need to be made. We know the changes that need to be made in the transfer market. It's not going to happen yet. It's not going to happen yet. But what we need to see is changes in the mentality, changes in the team selection, changes that are going to have an impact on the game. Throw some players in that are not being given a chance. Emile Smith-Rowe is probably not, and I saw a tweet from James Benj that I 100% agree with, Emile Smith-Rowe is probably not ready for Premier League football week in, week out. But he is the only player in the squad that we have available to us that can actually give us a bit of creativity in the middle, that is actually natural in that position. And he's not being given a shot. Don't drag him out of the under-23s playing week in, week out if you're not going to use him. We were losing in... At what stage does Emile Smith-Rowe come on in that game for Arteta? Where is the thinking to include him on the bench? At what stage? Someone tell me, please. At what stage, at what scoreline, at what match situation do you think that Arteta thinks, yes, now what I'll do is I'll bring him... Is it going to be when we're 4-0 up to give him... Are we ever going to be 4-0 up? We have pipe dreams of scoring 2 goals in a game, let alone 4. So why drag him out of the under-23s if you're not going to use him? At least let him play. At least let him get match time, minutes. Carry on scoring for the under-23s. Carry on making assists for Balogun in the under-23s. Because they're better. I think they're on a 4-game winning streak now, the under-23s. And you don't want to use any of them. No, you want to keep using these senior players that could not give a toss. Couldn't give a toss. They don't care. Louise is off in the summer. He's gone. He don't care. He was dribbling into the opposition half, telling Holden, move into the middle, mate. I'm going to go on a run. I'm going to try and make this about me. Makes no sense. Makes no sense. Matthew De Souza says sourness, I think you mean. Said throwing youngsters into a struggling team is damaging to their progress and doesn't help. I don't disagree with that to an extent, but when what's being played is clearly not working, what other choice do you have? What other choice do you have? Tulip says, can't see any proper tactics going forward. Don't care who we sign in January and whatnot. Just want points now. Else, as much as I want Arteta here, he has to go if we don't get points in the next 3 matches. Arsenal have a run of games coming up, which I think the club are looking at. I think the club have seen the fact that we had Southampton that are doing well this season, Everton that are doing all right this season, Chelsea that are Chelsea. I think he's given a free hit with these games. I think he's been given a free hit, and I think he's being given January. If January we sign people and nothing changes, he'll go. I've no doubt in my mind he'll go. Because you can't afford to make it worse. Because we'll genuinely go down. Can you see... how many points are we on? This is... Genuinely, I'm having to do this. As a bloody Arsenal fan, I'm having to look at how many points we're on. Nearly halfway through the season. Arsenal are on 14 points with 4 games left until the halfway point. Those 4 games for Arsenal are Chelsea, Brighton away, West Brom away, and Newcastle at home. No, sorry, not Newcastle. Sorry, Crystal Palace at home. Are we going to beat Chelsea? No. Do me a favour. Are we going to win at Brighton? No. Do me a favour. Are we going to win at West Brom? Well, with Allardyce there as manager, we can't score against anyone. So, are we going to score? It doesn't matter who the opponent is, does it really? I don't know why I'm sitting here looking at fixtures. It does not matter who the opponent is. We can't score from open play. It doesn't matter which 11 you put up against this Arsenal side, especially one that's going to be managed and coached by Allardyce in a few weeks' time. I would have got used to that. We ain't scoring. And so that's going to leave us halfway through the season, maybe on 18 points. Yeah? If we're honest, we're probably going to lose against Chelsea. We're probably going to lose against Brighton. We might get a point, maybe 3 if we're very lucky. Maybe you get a pen or 2. That'd be nice. Against West Brom. And we're going to lose against Palace. And that's going to leave us on 17 points halfway through. So we ain't surviving because you need the magic 40 points if you want to stay up. Can you see Arsenal getting 40 points this season? So I can't. I can't see us getting 40 points. And you can't say it's not a realistic thing. You can't live in some theoretical dream world thinking that Arsenal are too good not to go down. You can't live in that world because it's not real. Because the stats and the points and the fixtures and the history does not lie. Arsenal's form is the worst in the league behind Sheffield United, who have 1 point all season. That's where we're at now, is that in the form table, the only team that is worse than us, I believe now, is a team that's got 1 point. That is the situation that we're at. Oh, God, this is depressing as hell. Calvin Cloette says, Sabas is the only midfielder willing to play passes through the lines. We need to make the opposition face their goal. We're putting crosses in with no effect. JD says, we got rid of Wenger because we got tired of just top 4. Look at us now. Struggling to stay in the Premier League. Panrasta1 says, look, let's get it right. The players don't trust each other on the pitch. Players making runs behind the defensive line and not receiving the ball. Louise is slowing the play down in possession. I mean, look, let's get it right was how you started that. But I don't know what that meant. I don't know what that is an explanation. What do we do then? Let's go through those points. So the players don't trust each other. So how do we make them trust each other? I don't know. What do? You get them lined up and then one by one they fall backwards and their teammates have got to catch them. Is that how we do it? Is that how we make them trust each other? What do we do at this point? Players making runs behind the defensive line, not receiving the through ball. Oh, okay. How about we try? Let's just try. Play a creative central midfielder that we've got at the squads, which is Emile Smith-Rowe. Why don't we just try that, for instance? Louise is slowing down the play in possession. Pan Rasta, and I'm not calling you out here, as an Arsenal fan, your assessment is that Arsenal are being slowed down in their build-up by their centre-back. Okay. Brian Robles says, I disagree. Ceballos hid the whole first half, never showed himself for the ball, and decided not to drive it forwards. Only appeared at the end when we were desperate. Passenger until he needs... Even in my darkest times, I can think a little bit objectively. I think that Ceballos was one of the better players for me. I thought he did bring the ball forwards. I think he did. I thought El Neni was shit. I think El Neni was bad. El Neni didn't do nothing. Absolutely nothing. Oh, God, how we miss Partey. Like, why? We signed the player that I've wanted to sign at the club for so long, and he's not even fit, and he's never been injured his whole bloody life, and now he's injured. Just couldn't write it. You could not write it. Alex says, we signed 2 players in the first week in January, otherwise I'm done. If Arsenal... Even I will be done at that point, Alex. I'll be with you on Edu. If Arsenal... Because it's his job. It's his job to sign players. If he does not get it done in the first days of the win... I mean, if you look at our fixtures, we have fixtures at the start of January. So we play West Brom. We play West Brom on the 2nd of Jan. I want to see players in by the 1st so they can play against West Brom. I'm serious. I'm not joking. Remember when Monreal signed? He played the day after. We need to do that again. That is the situation where we're at now, is that we need to sign players on the 1st of Jan, ready, fit. I mean, look at RB Leipzig. Like, we're going on about... I'm going to bring up the name. I'm going to say his name. Szoboszlai, right? I know it's a release clause. Just because the transfer window isn't open does not mean you cannot start negotiating for players. Szoboszlai is already signed, sealed, delivered, gone. Gone to Leipzig. Arsenal should be getting deals done now, getting them ready for the 1st of January to announce them. That is what we need right now. We need some organisation, we need some fight, and we just need some direction. We need some urgency. And I just don't see it happening. We're going to be sitting here. I'm going to be sitting here doing daily transfer videos going, oh, we're linked to this guy. We're linked to this guy. Because our club can't get it done. And it's so frustrating seeing these problems happen over and over and over again. We then have Newcastle on the 9th. And if Saliba is still here and doesn't play in that game, joke. Crystal Palace on the 14th. So we've got a bit of a gap for the league. So say worst case scenario, Arsenal do not sign anyone by the West Brom game on the 2nd. Maybe you think I'm being unrealistic, but I've just watched a club in Germany sign a player in December. So, I mean, I don't really know how unrealistic I'm being at this stage, even though I know it's a release clause, but who gives a toss? See how angry I am. Arsenal play Crystal Palace on the 14th of January. That leaves them 13 days really, of January to get some players in. If we have not signed anyone by Palace, I will jump on your train. I'll pull the horn and I will say, Edu, done. You're done, mate. You failed. Everything that I backed, everything that I saw that was good in you, done. Doesn't matter if you sign Messi on the last day of the January transfer window. Like, you go, boom, we don't know nothing as fans, do we? We know nothing. We're going to be spoken to like little children because that's what you think we are. If Edu does not sign anyone by the Crystal Palace game, it is over. It is so over. It's so over. It's ridiculous, man. It's absolutely ridiculous. King Set Gambiangunat says, Arsenal board need to man up. This Arteta experiment is not working. Arteta will not make it at Arsenal. We still have enough decent players for another manager to build. What? What are you talking? Do you think we have decent players for someone to build this around? Really? Like, I get the argument of Arteta and people wanting him to go because he's picking the same players week in, week out. The squad is dreadful. It is dreadful. This summer needs to be the biggest turnaround of players. The biggest turnaround of players. The most players we've ever seen ever leave from a Premier League season. and the most players come in. And it'll probably be really crap at the start because they won't have gelled, but gradually they will get better. But it's better than this. It's better than this. Actually changing things. You look at Sevilla, right? Sevilla and Monchi. No one can tell me that a big overhaul of players regularly, which is what Sevilla do, and they're not the levels of Barcelona. They're a side which compete around the Man United level, which is above us, by the way. They're a club that do that in La Liga, and there are teams that will punish you for playing around that level. And they turn over players like no one's asking. They turn over players like it's anyone's business. Because they got someone in Monchi who's a good director of football that will build the club in the right way and build it in the right response to the coach that they've got. If Edu does not do anything by that Crystal Palace game, I'm going to lose my nut. I'm going to lose my rag with that guy. Because it's ridiculous to think that if we don't go into that game, if anything else. Have I seen Ozil's tweet, says Daniel Robert? No, I haven't. What has Ozil tweeted? Oh, God, here we go. Is it actually Ozil this time? Heartbroken. Heartbroken with a crying emoji. He tweeted yesterday saying, no matter how dark it looks, just don't give up. Remember, God has the power to lighten up any darkness in your life. Turn to him. I don't think God could save us now. I think that's the level we're at. I don't think divine intervention is solving our problems at this stage. But a crying emoji and a broken heart. He's an amazing PR merchant. I feel his pain. I don't doubt that for a second that Mesut Ozil really does care. I don't doubt that for a second. I do believe he's a lover of the club. I believe that. But what I don't believe is that he would have solved all our problems. But I do think that he would have added something. I don't think we'd be in 15th. We might have got to be able to get a few other results had he been in the squad because it's so much BS. I hate being lied to. I'm so sorry, Lee Judges. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I said to you, Arteta isn't a liar. The club aren't liars. I'm so sorry I said that. I hold my hands up and I hold it up to anyone else who said it to me. I'm so sorry that I said that the club or Arteta is lying. But at the time I said he's saying what he has to say, but no, it's not that. We're being lied to. We're being lied to. It's as simple as that. To say that Ozil's not in the squad for footballing reasons, whether you like the guy or not, whether you want him to move to wherever, halfway around the world, it doesn't matter what your opinion is on Ozil as a player, to say that he was not put into the squad for footballing reasons, and I'm going to keep coming back to this every single week that we failed to score from open play, is a joke. It's a joke. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Chris Wheatley has our... okay, let's go to Chris Wheatley's Twitter. Let's get you guys seeing this on screen. Let's react to it together. Chris Wheatley. Wheatley. Big old Wheatley. Okay, right, let's share this screen so you guys can see it. Okay. Oh, God, here we go. Trust the process. For goodness sake. Okay. Arteta, we need to generate more We need to generate more to win football matches. The boys are fighting. The boys are upset and the boys are together. It's really difficult when you're facing a block and a team who is defending. I'm sorry. It's not an excuse. You let them score first. You were not awake from the first minute and you let them score so they could do that. It's not a case of every team we're coming up against is playing a low block. That's not what is happening. We're going into games not alive, not alert. They are then scoring and they're able to... Why on earth? You can't blame the opposition for playing a low block. Sorry, but it doesn't matter. You're going into games and conceding so they can then... Because that's all you need to do against Arsenal. We said this week after week after week. We said as soon as you score as the opposition, you can sit back. You don't need the security of a 2-goal lead. Mourinho got a bloody field day because he got 2 goals. Good boo-hoo for him. Congratulations, you've got yourself a guaranteed win. But all you need to do is score. All you need to do is score and not give away any stupid penalties, and you will win against Arsenal 1-0 every single bloody game. Every game. Other than Southampton. But the point is that you can't turn around to the media and say that the reason why we are not The reason why we are finding it difficult is because we're playing against low blocks. We're not playing against low blocks. We've not played against low blocks until the last time we played against a low block genuinely was, let's look back at the results. We're doing this again. Welcome to Arsenal's fixtures. Did Southampton play a low block against us? Did they hell? Did they hell play a low block against us? Did Burnley play a low? Burnley were getting out loads. We controlled the game. Yes, we had more possession, but they were getting out. They were getting out of the back constantly. They were countering, and their goal came from a corner that they won. And then when we actually conceded, they were attacking more. They looked like getting a second goal more than we did. They played defensively, but they weren't sitting back in their own half the whole time, to be honest. They were trying to get that first goal, because as soon as they get that first goal, it's game over. Spurs, did they play a low block? You turn around and say they just played a counter-attacking style. They knew what Arsenal were going to do. They came out and they scored a goal, and then they scored another goal, because they knew what to do. Did Wolves play a no block? Only when they were winning. Only when they were winning. Same as Spurs. Did Leeds play a low block? No. Did Villa play a no block? Did Villa play a low block? Did Villa play a low block? No. Did Man United play a low block? No. Did Leicester play a low block? Well, maybe. Yeah, maybe we'll give it to Leicester. You can't turn around and say that we are playing against low blocks week in, week out, and that's why we're losing. Because if that's the case, we'd be drawing at a minimum. We'd be drawing. If we were playing against low blocks week in, week out, we'd be drawing. That's it. But we're not. We're losing. He says, again, without conceding much, we lost the game. 2 key moments and an own goal and a set piece. We dominated the game. We didn't dominate the game. We didn't dominate the game at all. We created enough chances to win the game. At the moment, I think the luck is not with us. Oh, man. Oh, God. I sat here and tried to defend this guy so much. I tried to defend him so much. People look like fools when they were asking him to leave after we won an FA Cup. They look like utter fools. And now who looks like the fool? I look like the fool. I look like the fool for backing the guy. I feel so betrayed. I feel utterly betrayed. Oh, God. Lufefe. Really not so. Oh, God. Only goons are. Only goons are. Manley says the players are not playing for Arteta. They want him sacked. Rydog says, what do I want him to say, Rydog? Okay, I'll tell you what. And in fact, it'd be nice, Rogda, if you come into a bloody show. You know what the difference is? You got people like Yannick Mack and Beast Titan that like to disagree with me, but they hold their hands and be like, they don't raise some silly points sometimes. And it's really frustrating. What exactly do you want him to say? I want him to say that he felt that there were players on the pitch that weren't playing well enough. That the performance was not at the level that he wanted. That we are not doing enough to score. That's what I want him to say. I want him to be honest. I want him to be honest with the fan base. I want him to tell the fan base that he's left Ozil out because of financial reasons, not because of other reasons. I know that can't happen because it would just be pandemonium. But if you're going to come up with some other excuse than lying to our faces, I'm going to start blocking people if they start using that word because that's really getting on my wick. Oh, dearie me. Dearie me. Abraham, yes, Tom, let the hate flow through you. Dearie me. In fact, the fans mug themselves off, says Mikey. Jesus Christ. Josh Fairbanks says, Arteta is literally doing everything he can to try and lose the fan base and get sacked. But the board and the ownership are so unambitious that the results seem redundant. Oh, God. Yannick says, do you think we have more than one? Yeah, but the thing is, Yannick, I'd make you go to the extra time of making another one. I'll take up some of your time, son. Get his face off the screen. I'm sorry, Paul. There we go. I hope you're happy. Anthony says, Ozil is crap and would make no difference. That's not, Anthony, you're missing the point, mate. This is what I'm saying. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you don't like Ozil. It doesn't matter if you think he's not going to offer anything. It doesn't matter what you think of Ozil as a player. To not put him in the squad for, quote, footballing reasons is BS, is the point I'm making. That's what I'm saying. I'm so sick of being lied to now. I'm so sick of it. Juan Felipe Palacio Rivera says, I'm getting to know a new Tom because of this mess. You've never seen a Tom like this on TGT. Never. This is what happens when your team gets into relegation form. Sagnick says, who do you bring after Arteta? I don't know, Sag. I don't know. It's not my job. It's not my job to know. It's not my job to know. And it's not an excuse. I've made the argument. I've said I don't know who comes in. And the only manager I could think of was Ralph Hasenhüttl. Why would Ralph Hasenhüttl want to leave? Why would he want to do that? Why would Ralph Hasenhüttl want to leave? And do you believe the board that they will make the right decisions going forwards? No, but I don't trust the board to make a decision. I don't trust the board to make a decision at all. But it doesn't make a decision to remove him wrong. There is no argument left. There is no legitimate argument after this many losses to say, and no one can turn around to anyone saying that they would be happy or okay with Arteta being sacked. You can't turn around and say that's a bad opinion anymore. You can't turn around and say that because you'd have to be ludicrous. You'd have to be mind-bendingly stupid to not think that it's okay to have that opinion. I'm not saying that you're stupid if you want him to stay, because there's part of me inside that still does. I'm saying that it's stupid to criticise anyone to have that opinion at this stage. That's the level that we're at now. Oh, God, I can't wait to listen to Hugh's show after this. Oh, dearie me. Hollow Donkey says, Tom, you're losing it. Jesse Marshall's got... What's Jesse Marsh going to do? Jesse Marsh has got an amazing setup, an amazing squad, and a perfect recruitment side, and a B side in FC Liefering. What is Jesse Marsh going to do here? What is he going to do? No one tells me any coach. The only argument I've had so far that makes legitimate sense is Hasenhüttl. And even then, he's got a good setup and backing behind him at Southampton. Southampton have always recovered from every single bad situation they've got into. When everyone's come along and pillaged their players, when everyone's come along and taken their managers, they always get back up and they always improve again because they've got a good setup behind them. Arsenal don't have that at all. We've got kids. We've got kids behind the scenes. We've got 40-year-olds. They're kids in this business. They're children. They're children at this stage. Doesn't matter how much experience they got at 40. Having that many young'uns in that level of position at a club like Arsenal is suicide. It's utter suicide. My Twitter handle is work of Arteta. I've started telling people it's sarcasm. Fair play, Sam. Daniel says, at least James Olayinka is doing bits out on loan. Matthew De Souza says, let's get the Wolves manager and bring in Jorge Mendes. Yep. Maybe. Maybe that's what we should do. Yonick says, Tom, I'm sending you the dark side contracts over to you in the morning. Check your post. I'm not getting any posts. No one can get posts at this stage. Can I just take a minute? Very quickly. This is off-piste. I'm so sorry for everyone I don't know how it's affecting people outside the UK. I'm not really in tune with that. I wanted to say this at the beginning, but I was so angry I didn't get around to it. I'm so sorry that if your Christmases have been ruined by the news that has just come out today, of course, from the British government. I wanted to say that because for some people it's going to be really lonely. It's going to be a really lonely Christmas, and Arsenal are only making that worse. And I was listening to the Arscast. And there was a question that James asked from a listener. I can't remember who it was. To Andrew about mental health and about how people are struggling at this time because of Arsenal. And I can't blame anyone for having for feeling that way. And my thoughts go out to you. And if you genuinely are feeling that bad, you don't feel like anyone to talk to, our DMs are open. I'll have a chat with you. If I'm free, I'll have a chat with you. No problem. Send us a DM at the Gooner Talk TV. Absolutely no problem. If you're feeling that low and you need anyone to talk to, we're here at the Gooner Talk, and I'm sure plenty of our members would drop in and be open to chat to you as well. Just wanted to point that out. So yeah. Sorry, I went a little bit off piece there, but I wanted to say that. Davin NI Code says Ralph Rangnick would be the perfect man. He is the best club developer in Europe. Yeah, but on his own, what's he going to do? I thought, and Nicholas, I see you saying that too. I thought when we got Sven in that we were moving in the right direction, getting in people that would get in the right type of players. But Then we got Raul Sanyehi, and he shat all over it. So it doesn't matter. Yes, Jamie, I know I do. It's in the post. It's in the post. I know. I've seen your comment. I've seen the comments of other people. We're not getting any post. I'm not getting any wins. And we're not getting any post. So I can't get one at the moment. But I'm trying. I'm really sorry. I know. Oh, we're going to time you out now. Sam Trester says, I might take up drinking. You haven't already? Oh, dearie me. Bavia Jane says, Marco Rosa. I mean, he's going Dortmund, mate. So, no. He's going Dortmund. Rodok says, the team can't afford 4 new players in January. Well said, Tom. Mental health is no joke. Yeah. Thank you. Ife says, Tom, I feel like Arteta doesn't have anyone to look to for help right now except his team, and Steve Round is trash. Don't have to apologise, mate. It's your opinion. You're completely fine. Hi, Hilmy. Thank you. Iron Carl says Marco Rosa would have been so good. Maybe, but again, he's gone to clubs with really good setups. He was at Salzburg, and now he's at Gladbach, and he's going to go to Dortmund. So, would I take Rafa Benitez? I don't know what Rafa Benitez would do. I don't know what he would do. Oh, God, this is horrible. Who's on the pod tomorrow? Let's cheer myself up. Who's coming on the pod tomorrow? I need to find out. Google Sheets. Let me check my schedule. Who's coming on the pod? 8:30 tomorrow. Drew, Raf, and Adam are coming on the pod tomorrow. 8:30. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun. Timo Pest says, let's appoint Roy Keane for a laugh. Yeah, we're getting to that point in the show. We're getting to that point in the show where I think it's time to wrap things up. I've just seen your message text. It's very funny. Thank you so much for listening. I'm really sorry. I know it's not I know I'm not the one who's done this to you. I just feel in place to apologise. So yeah. Zamir says, when are we doing a members pod? Christmas period's really tough, Zamir, because obviously it's heavy fixtures. So probably after that. But we'll try and squeeze one in over the Christmas period if we can, especially considering that a lot of people aren't having their Christmases this year. So maybe we will do a couple more. But yeah, as I said, just how I want to finish off the show. If you, I can't believe we're at this. If you are having issues, and I'm saying this because one, I heard it on the Arscast, and secondly, because I've seen people tweeting it, and third, I've actually had a person message me. So if you are having really tough time right now, DMs are open on my account, on my personal account, on the Gooner Talk account. Our members are great. They will happily speak to people if they need it. But yeah, I'm not surprised people are at this stage with everything that's going on, with the year that we've had, with the Christmas that we're not having, and with how Arsenal are right now. So yeah, always up for a chat. Drop us a DM, and I'll try and get back to you as quickly as feasibly possible. Thank you so much for tuning in, guys. If you could drop a like, I'd appreciate that. I really would. And if you're new to the show, subscribe, and I'll try and cheer you up with some more pods and breakdowns and interviews and stuff like that. But yeah, it's really tough right now. It's horrible. It's really, really horrible. Not nice. Not nice at all. Thank you for listening, people. It's been a pleasure as always. And as always, up the Arsenal.